Hello you guys, today we are going to talk to you guys about cellular respiration. In order for you guys to understand this, you guys need to know what ATP is. And ATP is in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, which is animal cells and plant cells, alright? And ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate, and tri stands for 3, or means 3, and 3 is right here, or 3-phosphate, alright? So that's where that tri comes from in ATP. Now, how do we get energy from this? Well, simply we have to break this third phosphate down. I should have used the thing. And that creates energy. Alright? That creates energy, and this is now called ADP. No longer ATP. Now, why is it called this? Because there's 2 phosphate left, and di means 2. So we're going to put that here. Di equals 2, and tri equals 3. So now that we know this, we're going to look a bit deeper into cellular respiration, and we're going to look at the equations of photosynthesis and cellular respiration. Alright, so right here I have it color-coded. I have products in red, and I have reactants in blue. Now what does this mean? Alright, products is what's being made. So right here we see that glucose is on the reactant side and the product side of different methods. So cellular respiration, it's a reactant, and in photosynthesis, my bad, is a product. Now, what it means is that photosynthesis simply is making glucose, while cellular respiration is breaking it down. So right here we're going to put break, as it's breaking it down, and make, because it's making it. Alright, and a simple organism that makes glucose is plants. And I'm not a good artist here, but there you go. That's a plant. And these plants make glucose, and then they break it down using cellular respiration. Now, we're going to talk about what glucose does, or what it's turned into. Alright, so glucose, or glycolysis, takes place in the cytoplasm, and there is no oxygen needed, and it is turned into something really useful that is called pyruvate. Alright, pyruvate can be useful for many things, and in order for this to happen, this needs 2 net ATP, and it needs NADH, 2 NADH. Now, if you don't know what NADH is, it's basically something that transfers electrons, alright? So, that's basically it. And NADH basically sends electrons to make more ATP. And now we're going to talk to you guys about the Krebs cycle.
Krebs cycle. The Krebs cycle takes place in the mitochondria. This requires O2, oxygen, or called an aerobic respiration. The pyruvate, which contains 3 carbon, gets oxidized and produces carbon dioxide, 2 ATP molecules, 2 NADH, 6 NADH molecules, and 2 FADH. FADH is a coenzyme which also transfers electrons to make even more ATP.
You might have heard the word aerobic respiration in the Krebs cycle. So I'm going to explain that to you. Aerobic respiration requires glucose and oxygen and results in carbon dioxide and water. This makes about 36 ATP. So the average amount would be 36 ATP, and a perfect amount would be about 38 ATP. Now, let's say you're running during exercise, you don't have much oxygen. There's a process called anaerobic respiration, where there's no oxygen, it's just glucose, and it has a product of lactic acid, and you make about 2 ATP. There is less energy provided compared to aerobic respiration, where there's more energy provided, and we have more ATP, more energy.
ATP, as you know, is needed for all living organisms to create energy. Bigger organisms, so to say a human, has a lot of body functions requiring energy. This energy can be used for muscle contractions, nerve impulse, metabolism functions, and other actions necessary for our own lives. While a smaller being, such as a snail, uses this ATP for far less body functions because it has less systems and organisms than humans do.
Thanks for watching. This was Cellular Respiration by Roberto Jimenez and Cecilia Prado.